Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for another video. Now in today's video is going to be my complete 2024 updated Valley tour. Now I have over 1,700 hours in the game and I've been playing a long time, and I have finally got my Valley completely finished before the December 4th update, where I'm going to be demolishing it all. So what you're seeing right now is my completed Valley before it gets completely bulldozed on stream before the December 4th update, where we're obviously going to be getting angled furniture. So I'm going to be redoing everything. So I thought I'd show you what I'd created as my final kind of 2024 updated Valley tour. So let's get started. Now obviously we are starting off in the Plaza, which as you can see is currently decorated for Christmas. I did this and decorate for Christmas and then realised I'm just going to have to redo it all with angled placement, but I really wanted to decorate anyway. So as you can tell, my main kind of street, I've gone for a tram line. Now this is what I do regardless. I do kind of like switch up my plaza per season, but I keep the same structure, so all the buildings stay in the same place, the tram line stays in the same place, and these usually have the Tiana subway carts on, but obviously for the Christmas season I wanted to make it kind of look like a little fairground, so I did remove that. So we've got the identical kind of design on the outside of the well with the little hot cocoa stands, and then as we head this way we've got the little carousel on either end to be our little fairground. Now in this back corner we have got a little grand dining table, and then we have Remy's home and restaurant. This is where I always keep them, with some little seatings outside, and then we've got the more kind of like grand dining tables hidden at the back there as this kind of like cozy little alcove spot for a little romantic dinner. And then as we head out of there we have got the opposite side, where we have got the Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully apartment, the Scrooge shop, and also Daisy's boutique. I love having Daisy's and Scrooge's next to each other and having all these kind of like big tall city buildings together, and they've got some simple little designs outside. Scrooge has got these little pillars we got from a quest, and then his little scramble coin figures on top to be as like a staple that he always has. And then as we head through here we have got just these little outer sections where it leads us to the other biomes. I use some of the brick posts to be kind of like the borders, I guess, of where the exits are, and as you can tell at the moment it is decorated very Christmassy. As we head back in, as we head down this side, you can see we've obviously got the big tall buildings continuing all the way on, but before that we've got the little exit to the meadow, where we have this really nice view, which obviously you'll see at some point. And then on these two corners I decided to go for the angled buildings, so the confectionery store and Daisy's boutique, so they kind of like angle in towards each other at the exit to the meadow. I just really liked how that looked and kind of the matching theme of that. Then as we head down we've obviously got the matching little fairground ride, a little refreshment store with some sweets on. We've then got the premium shop bakery and also the premium shop Lady in the Tramp house. I just loved how these looked up here, and I just felt like it looked like a realistic little town setup. And then again we've got the matching little train station with the Ratatouille sign from A Rift in Time, and the Disney Parks entrances to kind of look like where our tram would kind of stop. And the symmetrical kind of pattern for both of these just makes it look really contained like a real city. And then as we over here we have Tiana's palace, which obviously as you can tell is a very decorative Christmas, but I love having her in this corner because it gives me all this space next to her restaurant to have this little bar area, to have a piano, and then obviously have all of the Tiana tables and chairs out, which I change up the food on here depending on the season. So currently they're like lots of Christmassy meals, but I do change them up whatever season it is, but I still keep the same tables and chairs so it really feels like Tiana's restaurant. As we head out of this side of the train station, we again have our little outside alcove where we've got the brick posts leading us to the other biomes, and kind of just keep the same theme. I've obviously got a Tiana water tower in here as well on this side because there's a little bit more space, but I like to kind of keep it very open, very natural out here, and include lots of plants out here. And then obviously once you come into the city it's a lot more kind of built up, less plants, less foliage going on, and feels a lot more like an actual city. Now as we head down to the meadow we're going to come in from this entrance from the plaza. Now as you can see as we come in we've straight away got the Disney Parks statue as like our main feature here. I love this little Walt and Mickey statue that we got, and I wanted to keep this middle section as a really nice nice open boardwalk, and it's completely symmetrical. So we've got benches on either side, some clocks, and then as we head in I used a different paling to kind of make the fountain stand out, and then we have got the little arches with the floral kind of design on it, and then some benches tucked underneath to be these nice little seating spots. And again, yeah, keep it very symmetrical and keep that theme going on as we go down. And then then as we head down here is where it kind of splits off, and then we go in two different directions to two different sections of the meadow, and then obviously the way down to Dazzle Beach. Now our first section on the left, as you can see, we are going straight into Mickey and Friends Toontown. I absolutely love having all of their houses together. So in here, as you can tell, I have kept all of our Mickey and Friends characters in one spot. Now the first thing we have is this little secret alcove area between the fountain, where we have a little picnic blanket for people to hang out, and some of the tangled lanterns to be this little romantic spot. We have the Centennial Fountain, and then on the right, the first house we have is Mickey's with a little matching companion house, and then we have Minnie's next door with obviously a lot more pink items here to fit hers and Daisy's houses, and then Daisy's got a little critter home with lots of pink critters in, and then at the end we have Goofy with lots of items by him. I included the Mickey water tower in the back corner as well to be a nice feature, and then obviously another statue of him and his friends, and then obviously in the pond we have Donald just there to hang out with them, and then we have this little dining table where they would sit and hang out and enjoy some food together. Heading out of there, I'm going to show you the other side of this biome, which you actually can't get to from this main boardwalk. I've done it so it's like you have to go left or right. And as we come left, the first little spot we've got is the Beast's greenhouse, and I've included a little flower heart here that I imagine he made for Belle, and I wanted to keep this very light, very warm, so I added lots of the pink trees around to fit, and I like to keep the flowers stocked in here so that it always has flower designs going on and just looks absolutely gorgeous, and a little fountain outside the front to match. And then as we head here, we have got Merlin's little section where I've gone for kind of just a whimsical, magical look. And I gave him this little bench section with the Sword in the Stone craftable item from the Rift in Time DLC. And then obviously some little scramble coin figures on these posts again to fit with the design of his house. We've obviously got a little telescope as well. And I also added a bunch of blue flowers around here to obviously fit the vibe of his home. And then the final thing we have in this section, apart from the little crafting table, is we have the Toontown Fire Station with the craftable fire truck. This came in a previous star path, and I absolutely love having this building in here. I think it just fits the vibe in here, and I did used to have it in my plaza, but as I didn't have enough space, I felt like down in the Toontown was the next best spot. Heading up from there and then heading down to the right, we can go down the right section, but I felt like we should go from this section up here. So if we come around here, we go straight into where the well is, and obviously my little ancient vacuum for convenience. And this is where you pop out of the well in the meadow. And then we head round and we have our stall section and also our multiplayer portal. I like to keep everything kind of contained, and obviously as in the plaza there's not much space for this stuff, I like having it in the meadow so it's like convenient. So obviously on this side we've got some benches, and we've got this little design for our multiplayer portal with some of the pink trees and also some of the mosaic flooring. And then on this middle section we have a very symmetrical look. We have Tiana's and Kristoff's stall on this side with a rustic clock tower, and then obviously as we can see on the other side of the pond we have the exact same symmetrical design but with Mulan and Goofy's, which has got the Bayou skin on it because I feel like it fits in here. The other thing we have on this side is we have the pink castle. Now, I did used to have this in Eternity Isle, but I just loved the idea of having it in here, and I have added that in with lots of fence design, the little Figaro house, and then obviously around here we have a little path leading us up to the Tiana gazebo. I love doing this little pathway look just so it kind of leads up to it, and then inside we have the Belle little picnic blanket to kind of add to this really pink whimsical look, and it just all matches really lovely. Heading out of there, and as we go around past the multiplayer portal and go to the other kind of entrance point, we have got this little mini Alice in Wonderland dining setup. I wasn't sure what to put in this little corner, but I liked the idea of having something Alice related in my meadow because it kind of just fit the vibe. So I just added this little table with some foods on it, and then opposite that we have got Rapunzel's home. Now this is where Rapunzel lives. She has a little painting area where lots of villagers always seem to want to be around here, so it always looks busy no matter when I'm here, which I really love because obviously the theme of this is that she would do art classes here and other villagers would come to learn how to paint. And we have our little lanterns above, and then obviously we have some of the little Pascal lanterns to lead us to her tower in this little cozy spot in the corner. And as we head around, we have our main last section of the meadow, which is Mirabelle's casita. I absolutely love it down here. It used to be in my Sunlit Plateau for a very long time, and I moved it here, and I just don't think I've ever regretted it, to be honest. I went for this cute little checkered pathway look with some of the flower planters. And then on the left I created her a little washing line spot because it fit with the kind of family home vibe. And then this side we've got a massive table for her family to hang out and eat lots of food and spend time together with the little barbecue. And then through the hedges we've just got a little pebbled pathway up to the rock spot just for easy access. But obviously around this area there is a lot of long grass, lots of plants to keep it feeling very alive and vibrant, and it goes with her house well. And then on the exit out to the glade we have got the little figment topiary and 2 of the Mulan archways to introduce us into the glade. So to head down to the glade, I'm going to go from this entrance, and straight away as you come in, you can see it's definitely very overgrown in here, but definitely already feels a lot darker, which I like. Now the first house we have in the glade is the Tiana house, which I just love having in the glade. I think it makes so much sense for her character. And for her house, I've actually given her Wally's little garden because he is not in my base game valley. He's in my Eternity Isles, you'll see later. And I can't put this little farm with him, so I felt like Tiana was the best option to look after the farm for him and grow all her vegetables and herbs for her cooking. And then obviously on the other side of her house we have got a little table where people come and hang out and try her new meals, and then obviously some little flower decorations outside the front. And then as we head through the farm we've got this little secret section at the back where her and friends sit and enjoy watching the river and the fireflies, kind of similar to the movies, and obviously another little seating area there for her to hang out in. I just think it's such a cute spot for her. And then as we head down we kind of go for a similar theme. We have got the haunted mansion, which I feel like fits well with her kind of vibe in here. And this I've gone for a very simple overgrown look. I wanted it to look like this mansion is very kind of abandoned and maybe like an older person lives here and they've kind of just let everything grow wild in the front of it. I didn't want it to look too structured and too kind of royal, so I went for a more rustic look with lots of plants about, let the mushrooms grow, and kind of kept it very whimsical, and then obviously left a little spot for the rock spot as well in there. Now heading round, we will head round this side first. We have got the pillars, which I like having all together, and I feel like the glade just makes sense to have them all together. I did obviously have them on that island on Dazzle Beach for a very long time, but I wanted to keep them all together somewhere else, and so I have popped them out down here in the glade, and I just love having them all to kind of look at and run past. I just think it kind of fits with the fairy court area that we have coming up across the rock bridge. As you can see, we have gone straight into fairy core goodness in here, where we have got lots of houses. We have first got Fairy Godmother's a little pumpkin house with obviously her own little pumpkin farm where she grows her own pumpkins. We have some of the Dreamlight trees in here adding the sparkles, and then obviously a little seating area and her little pumpkin carriage to fit with her character. Now around in this corner to match that, we have got the gorgeous mushroom cottage, which obviously works so well in here. I wanted to go for a really rustic look for this and add lots of the pumpkin vine lamps all around and some of the glowing mushrooms from Scrooge's to obviously fit this fairy vibe. We've got a little seating area, and then obviously on the other side we have got the fairy Bloss home, which obviously just fits with the kind of vibe in here. We've added some of the little glowing trees as well as the little caterpillar statue to kind of add to that theme. And then obviously across the bridge we've got this little section where Mother Gothel's house is. Now there's nothing too exciting here. I just popped in my well because this area is right in the middle of the glade, so I can kind of come out of my well and go whichever direction is easiest. It's a nice little hub point, and obviously this section's so small so it's hard to think of what to put here. So I've popped her well and then obviously added a load of foliage to just make it look very overgrown. And then as we head down here, we go into our campsite. Now down here, I loved having this little campsite. I think it just really fit really well with the vibe I wanted to go for. So I added some of the Eternity Isle craftable tents, a little barbecue area, and then obviously opposite that, we have got the Bayou fishing hut. I wanted it to feel like the people who came to camp here would go fishing and maybe would stay in here while they're fishing. So I've added a bunch of fishing equipment, the little fish lure, and obviously lots of stuff around for them to use, like a little campfire. Now heading out of there, I obviously have included the camping cottage as well to feel like that people may stay here, and I just went for this really kind of simple little entrance area to make it feel a bit more structured. And then next to that, I created a little parking bay for Buzz's RV to kind of look like the people who are staying in this cottage, this would be their RV that they traveled in. So I just felt like that was a cute little way to kind of display his RV and make it look a little bit more like there's an actual story behind it. And then in the water behind, we've just got some of these swan boats that the people who are camping here can go and enjoying the water. Now as we head across, we have our last kind of fairy course section and last part of the glade. We have got Tink's house, which obviously is this gorgeous archway as well. I just love how this looks, and having it here as the kind of arch into the next section just made so much sense to me. And then tucked here we have got Ursula's. I didn't want to do a huge decoration for Ursula's because I really am quite sad I can't put her in Forgotten Lands, so I wanted to kind of keep her tucked away as if she's kind of hiding out here in the fairyland and kind of give it that vibe. I may give her a bigger section again in the future, but I just liked having her kind of tucked away in here for now. And then for this little fairy course section, we've got some seating, obviously some glowing mushrooms, and the forest full of loads of different colours and loads of different things, and then some little tables to sit at and eat. And then that is pretty much the rest of the glade. The rest of this corner following round is again very overgrown, full of lots of colours, fireflies obviously hovering in the sky, and then it heads down to Dazzle Beach. Now for Dazzle Beach, I'm obviously going to come in from the entrance in the meadow because obviously it is the most grand entrance. And straight away as you come down, you can see I've got the well front and centre to kind of be this like focal point from the meadow. It kind of makes it stand out. And then I've popped one of these steamboats behind to really add to the vibe and give it a nice view. And then as we head round to the right, which is the smallest section, you can see I've gone for a boardwalk theme in here. So I've added some of the natural rock pathing and then loads of the Remy fences to kind of give it this like boardwalk style. I wanted it to look very kind of whimsical but also very structured at the same time. And then obviously we've got the little exit out from the meadow here, and then we have got some other decorations just dotted around this path to introduce us in. And then we have Stitch's house, so I've given Stitch this little corner in the back because I really love how cozy it is in here, and I've popped a load of stuff down that I know Stitch would love. There is candy, there is coffee cake, there is coffee, there's coconut cake, there's everything he could possibly love in here, and a little barbecue and a table for him to entertain with friends. I've added his little coffee bushes down here as well to fit with his character, and obviously a lot of beachy items like a little ice cream stand around the beach. Now apart from the boardwalk, I did want to keep this beach section open. I wanted it to feel like you could run on the sand and it wouldn't really be an issue. So I've added loads of stuff along the beach. I've got a little hammock, a little campfire, we've got the lifeguard tower, and then obviously a bunch of the towels with the little sun umbrellas to lay under, and then also some of the little Mulan boats in the water to kind of look like the people who are here are like playing games in the water essentially, and then obviously a couple more items to kind of tie up that theme. Now heading out of here and back onto the boardwalk, we've got obviously our other exit from the meadow, which is symmetrical on both sides, and then we have got our beach bar. Now I've had this for a very long time and I've kind of relocated it multiple times, but I'm really happy with this spot for it, and I've created a little beach bar with a little smoothie machine, lots of beachy foods, and then obviously some fountains behind to kind of tie it in and make it look like an actual bar. And then we've just got a little ice cream stand and some kites as well. And then for our exit onto the other side, I've added the floral archways and the palm trees to create these nice kind of like frames and then keep it symmetrical on both sides. And something as well I want to point out, in the water I have added a load of the light up lily pads, the reeds and the rocks. I like having the water quite busy and full. I like kind of the look of that and how whimsical it looks. My item count doesn't like it, but I do because it just keeps it looking really exciting. Now heading through here, we have got the Ferris wheel to be kind of like a beachside amusement, and then lots of the tables here with some snacks on for people to be enjoying in this little food court bit. And then we have again another little picnic blanket and popcorn machine to show that people would come here and enjoy some food. Now our next section is the docks, where I obviously have Moana's boat, as you can see, and then I have these stands from Eternity Isle with lots of different produce in. Like this one's a smoothie stand, this one's got fish, this one has got treasures from Adventures, and this one's got flowers from Far Off Lands. I wanted it to look like people would come here and would buy eclectic little things or sell things. And then obviously at the end of the docks I've got one of the little boats as well to look like someone's coming in to dock here to kind of visit the valley or leave the valley, I guess. And then as we head down here, we've got Goofy's stall, and then we have got this little open courtyard area where we have got a fountain, the little treasure gift shop, and then I've included one of the gazebos down here, where I actually ended up really liking. I like the fact that it's kind of doesn't really fit, but at the same time brings a lot of kind of like brightness to the area, and you can actually walk through it, and obviously it goes straight onto the beach. And speaking of, we will go through to the little Skull Rock Island, which is currently where I have the aerial seaside little villa. I just love this little spot for it, so I've popped a little lagoon out here, a fountain in the middle, and we've obviously got a pathway leading up to Skull Rock if we ever can get to this anytime soon. And then we have obviously got a little seating area on the other side and a little boat docked to kind of seem like the boat that Ariel and Eric go in on their adventures. Heading out of there and back across and through the gazebo, we've got the rest of the boardwalk with, again, lots of items and seating along. And then on the right, we have the Premium Shop Beach House, which I've given a little decking area. I used some of the wood planks to create like a decking, and I've added a jacuzzi, a little bonfire for people to sit, a slide. I wanted it to look like people kind of come and stay here and they hang out and do all these fun activities. And I just love the idea of having a little decking. And then on the other side, we have a little coconut tree and some surfboards. And then opposite that, we have the Stitch Tea House, and I wanted this to feel like an actual tea house people would come and visit. So I've added some little tables on the right and an ice cream stand for people to hang out, a little shave ice stand, and then we've obviously got a little archway leading us to the rock spot. And then on the other side, we have got more seating. We have got the little Moana pool for people to hang out in, and then we've got a little fresh produce area where people come and buy the fresh produce. I just really wanted to include the truck down here with the house, and I just felt like it made sense that they'd not only serve food but also sell it as well. And then as we head down here, we have our final section, which is Moana's house, and I love having Moana in here. I just feel like it works so well for her and kind of keeps her on the beach. We've got a little seating area where she can hang out and watch the water, and then we've got Hey's little house, which I've popped some turtles in. And then around here we have got Ariel's house next to her, which is obviously out at sea, and I've added these rocks to kind of look like stepping stones to her house, a little boat, and obviously lots of reeds and light up lily pads to kind of fit with the vibe of her home. And then tucked around this little corner, I just have this biome's little crafting station, which I use the Ariel one because obviously it just fits so well with the biome. As we head out of there, we've obviously just got a little archway leading us back up to the meadow, and then obviously the exit out to the forest, but I'm going to take you to the forest through the plaza. Now the next biome we're heading up to is the Forest of Valor, which is where I have created this kind of cozy cottagecore vibe. I went from the plaza because this is kind of my favourite entrance of it. So as you can tell, as soon as we come in, you have got Goofy's stall, and I've added a load of fruit bushes all around the forest to kind of run around and get. I liked the kind of look of how they looked. In this main courtyard, we have the Corona fountain, some seating, and then we have this little like tree section that's blocking the middle to kind of separate it out. On the right, we have the Lady Tremaine Manor. I just really liked how it looked up here. Some little veggie stalls, and then we have our forest well in front of the Snuggly Duckling Tavern, which has obviously got a bunch of tables out the front for people to enjoy their food and hang out. And then next to that, we have got the Leafy Cottage House, which is genuinely one of my favourite house skins in game. I absolutely love it. And it looks so cute in here, just kind of matching with the tavern, and it's just got lots of kind of like cottagecore whimsical things around. We've then got the little haunted gazebo with some little seating areas in for people to hang out, and then we have the Bell Library House, again one of my personal favorites in the valley. I think it is such a cute house skin and I love having it on this corner. And then opposite that, we have got the new ancient kind of like clockwork house skin, I guess it's called, and this is actually my player house. So this is the house I live in. I change out this house skin often depending on the season, so I did have it as a Halloweeny house skin, and then obviously to celebrate Storybook Vale and getting this house skin, I have changed it to this one. So it is just temporary. I do always change it out for different skins depending on the time of the year. And then down this long section we can see I have got the two other cottages. I've got the flowery one and the purple one directly opposite each other, just to make it look like a little village town that people live in. And then heading forward, we have got my farm. So in here, as you can tell, I've got the bunting to kind of lead you in and a little signpost. And in here is the farm. So I created these little coops. So I have a little chicken coop here, and then I have a little pig pen where they kind of hang out and kind of play around. And then obviously under this archway, I have placed the Owl's Toy Barn from the Premium Shop. It's actually a Toy Story item, and it has like the front of the store at the front, but I liked using it this way so it looks like an actual barn. And I obviously created a little food market outside. We have got the little Stitch food truck with some stalls for people to sell their produce, and then just our little exit out to Dazzle Beach. And then as we head the other way, again, we've got more seating. We've got a little critter home where lots of bunnies are living out on the farm. And then we have got the Bell farmhouse. I love having this here in the farm, and I've actually got it decorated as a farmhouse inside as well. I wanted it to feel like whoever runs this farm, this is where they live. And I felt like it just fits so well in this kind of like whimsical farm vibe. And then we've got their own little mini allotment where they have their own plants growing. I didn't want to do a big like farm area for this, but I just didn't have the space. So I decided to go for this like little mini allotment as if it's it's the people who live here. This is their own stuff they grow for their own cooking. And then as we head out towards the exit to the Frosted Heights, we've just got a little rock spot taking us to the rock spot, and then we have got a little picnic blanket and another fruit bush before we head over into my Mulan area. Now, as you can tell by the walls, this area is completely centered around Mulan and all of the items we got with that. So in this little alcove corner under the archway, we've got a little crafting station. We've got a crafting bench and lots of furniture from Mulan that came with her update. And then as we head through here, we have got Mulan and Mushu's house on the left, and then we've got the turning red house on the right to create this little courtyard area. And then we have got this centerpiece that I created using the Zen garden from the crafting table, some of the turning red pillars, and lots of foliage. Then opposite that, we can obviously see this is the exit out to the rest of the forest with some lighting. And then I have the Wandering Moon house. Now, this is such a gorgeous house skin, and I created a little mini pond in front of it with a touch of magic rug, and then used one of the Mulan tables to create this really gorgeous seating area where people can sit and hang out and enjoy food together. And then next to that, we have this little shrine area with the item. I think this came from Mushu's quest. So we have that there. And then obviously we have the temple, again from the premium shop, where we have got the little dragon statues that you can craft out the front to kind of represent that. As we head out to the right, we've got the final section, which is this little show area. I really love this little stage that we got with Mulan and Mushu, so I kind of wanted to create an actual little show area and a little bonfire. And then we have a little path leading us into Elsa's cave. And then as we head round the back, we have got another makeshift pond using a touch of magic rug and some of the dragon statues, and then some more fruit bushes. Now for the Frosted Heights, I obviously wanted to come up from the main grand staircase, and as you can tell straight away, we are straight away into a winter wonderland now. Up here I kind of did half of it as Christmas and half of it as winter is kind of the vibe I went for. So as we go in, the smallest parts on the left is we've got this little flower structure with a little built snow castle. We have then got the igloo and the snowmen hanging out and kind of just being a nice little play area. And then opposite that, we have got the little hot cocoa stand with some hot cocoa on and lots of gifts. And as you can tell when I look to the right, this really introduces us to the Christmas section. So we have got a little reindeer out the front as well. But before we go to the Christmas section, I will take you around the winter section. Now in here, as soon as you come in, we have got the ice fountain to kind of be that grand thing when you come in. And then as we head through, we have first got the Arendelle Castle with Anna's little ice statue next to it and some more of those reindeer ones. And then I used some of the wintry arches from the last star path and some ice pillars to kind of be the like center post of this area. And then as you can see from down here, we have this kind of like castle boardwalk, I guess. So on the right hand side, we've got 3 different castles. We've got the Arendelle Castle, Belle and Beast Castle, and also the Winter Palace from the premium shop. And then if we look on the left, you've got some of the frozen pillars that we got from Scrooge's recently in the last update, and also some of the rustic clock towers in here as well. And then obviously matching foliage, there's a lot of symmetry going on this side. And then we've got a little dining table fit with the Frozen theme to kind of go in theme. And then as you continue down, we've obviously got some fountains and some decorations to kind of keep the symmetry going. But I just love how this little boardwalk has these kind of 2 sides. I was very much inspired by Fora. If you saw my tour video, she had these 2 different sides with castles on one and items on the other. So I really felt inspired by that. Now heading back to the main entrance, we are going to go into our Christmas area. So as you can tell before you even go in, you are straight away hit in the face with Christmas vibes. We've first got this little food court area on the right where we've got the popcorn machine, Goofy's stand, and obviously another hot cocoa stand, and the candy cane fences behind to obviously just bring the festive spirit in. We have then got our little kind of Disney park entrances that I've used to look like kind of whimsical buildings, and I've added the sleigh, the Christmas tree, and lots of gifts around to kind of add to that nice kind of vibe. Then we've got the little Nightmare Before Christmas carousel in the middle to kind of make it feel like a fairground and make it feel very fun and vibrant. And then around the back here, we have got our grand dining table with loads of Christmassy food on it, loads of gifts behind, and again keeping the candy cane theme going to really tie it all together. Now as we head around here, it has just got a bit foggy, but we have got my well, which again, I have gone for this little seating area and the Christmas lights over the top. And then the candy cane fences at the back, I feel really make it pop and make it stand out. And then opposite that, we have got the little ice rink from the premium shop. I've created a little pathway to the bench, and then we've got the ice rink there for people to come and enjoy. And then we have the Frosty Fortress, which is so hard to even get in shot because it's so unbelievably tall. But we have this in this back section here, and I've added a Dreamlight Dreamlight fruit tree on either side to add to the whimsical feel. I just felt like it framed the house nicely, as it is just such a tall house. I feel like it definitely never needed to be this tall, but I obviously wanted to include that in here, and I've popped a little carriage out the side to make it feel like the person who lives here would take the carriage, and then obviously some little lights outside the entrance. So the next biome we are heading up to is the Sunlit Plateau, which I'm coming in from, obviously from the Plaza. So as we head up, you go straight into a kind of jungly environment. Now in the Sunlit Plateau this time, I just went for two kind of different styles on either side. So to start off with, you have Scar's little area, which I thought I'd show you first. Now as you can tell, I've put the hyena cave in here, which just works so well. And I obviously went for a very abandoned kind of rundown look. I wanted it to look like all the plants in here had kind of died and wilted over time. We have got obviously Scar's home with some trees behind still hanging on, and then a lot of rock pebbles and little remains and things dotted about. Nothing too crazy, but just a simple design for his. And then as we come out, I have obviously my first side of Sunlit Plateau, which is very much more of a like kind of whimsical jungle. It has kind of different vibes going on. So the first section we've got straight ahead is we have got this little gazebo to hang out in, and then we have got the Halloween cottage. I absolutely love this house skin, and it fits so well with the section that's about to come up. But first, next up, we have got my tree orchard. Now this isn't anything too crazy, but I wanted a place all my trees could be stored and I could kind of pick and choose from them that I want. So I kind of wanted to keep them all together, so I just popped some trellis around them. And then heading back onto the main path, as you can tell, we have my kind of autumnal setup. So in here I have created a pie eating contest, or like a pie baking contest, whichever one you prefer. And by having the wilted cottage at that end, and then obviously the Halloween cottage at this end, I wanted it to obviously have the autumny vibes going through the whole way. So as we head in here, I've used the leaf rugs to create this pathway, decorated the tables with loads of baked treats and goods, and then obviously straight ahead we have got the wilted cottage, which I absolutely love. It's such a whimsical autumny house, and it works so well at the end of here. And then as we head round, we've got this little hidden picnic section with a picnic blanket and a little fishing setup. And then obviously behind here it takes us to our other side of Sunlit, which is more the Lion King side. So as you can tell straight away as we come in here, we have got the Lion King Lodge Hotel kind of building that we got from the premium shop. I absolutely loved building this, and I've created this kind of like bordered pathway with these grand designs. I wanted it to feel like you are coming into an actual fancy hotel. And then as we come through to the actual house skin, we have got some of the lagoons and some of the new items from Timon and Pumbaa's friendship quest. And throughout here I've used some of the wood planks from Eternity Isle to create a path. Now here we have a little seating area next to the pond for them to enjoy, and then down this little secret pathway around the back, this is our section to get to Pride Rock. So we have got the lagoon here, a little hammock, and then we have Pride Rock here in the back corner. And then next up we have a little hidden spot with the little bed from the Scrooges, and then also Pumbaa's mud kind of bath that he can enjoy in the privacy behind Pride Rock. I wanted to give it this nice little kind of hidden section. I kind of liked having it at the back where they'd be more secluded. And then obviously in between all the jungle around here, we head into our little kind of like hotel area. So you've got some of the little pottery stands, and then we have got the beach area. So we have got the pool, and then we've obviously got the loungers at the back behind one of the Eternity Isle tents. And then I added some of the new Lion King beds because these just look amazing, and I thought they kind of worked as being like poolside beds in a fancy hotel. So I created that to fit this. And then obviously we've just got our little exit out to Forgotten Lands that is super overgrown. And then we have our final section on this side, which is obviously the first. We have got the projector screen kind of movie hangout zone. Now I absolutely love having this in here. So we've got a little popcorn stand, lots of popcorn about, and obviously the projector screen for people to sit and enjoy, and then a little gift shop next to it to buy snacks and drinks. Then opposite that we have got Jumbo's Cafe to be this nice kind of like jungly cafe for people to hang out at. I've used some of the Lion King chairs to create the little cafe tables and added some ice cream stands and things like that around for people to enjoy. Now heading across the bridge, we have got on the right my Goofy and obviously a crafting table area, my Goofy store and everything like that to kind of get to, and then obviously my well that I can teleport into pretty easily. And then opposite that we have the final section, which is my mining cart system. So I've created a little minecart coming out of the Vitalis mines and added some of the minecarts from Eternity Isle DLC, and then I've popped Gaston's house with it because I felt like it fit the vibe, it fit the kind of whole mining aesthetic, and I just felt like it was a good good spot to put his house, and it obviously still kind of ties into the autumnal look behind it on the other side of Sunlit Plateau. Now the final biome is the Forgotten Lands, and as you can tell, as soon as we come up here, we are straight away into the spooky vibe, which is definitely the vibes that are going on in this whole biome in general. Now the first house we have on the left is the Witchy Cottage house skin. I've popped Madame Leota's little table outside to kind of add to that witchy feel, and then if you come around the back of it, we have got this little hidden telescope area where the witch can hang out and look over the valley. I really love having this house up here, it kind of matches the colours. We've then got Goofy's stall and our well, just for convenience to kind of get through, which I've decorated around with just some bushes and foliage. And then we've got the little haunted gazebo with a little potion making station in here. It is very kind of Ursula vibes, but I added some of Yzma's potions to kind of add to it and use this checkerboard path to lead into the next house along, which, as you can see, is the Nightmare Before Christmas Haunted Mansion. I wanted this to kind of tie to the gazebo, as the roofs on them do actually match. It's hard to tell you, like to show you from this view, but the roof colour is the same. And I've added a load of pumpkins and Halloween trees out the front and some of the spiderweb trees to really give off the Halloween feel. Now in the middle of this courtyard between the two houses, I created this little display using the Well of Souls, the Nightmare Before Christmas fountains, and also the new potions, and then obviously added a big potion here as well. Then opposite we've got the Nightmare Castle, which is such a cool house skin to have, and it really works in here. And I just added some fruit bushes in here and some thorns in this symmetrical pattern, and the trees behind are also symmetrical to kind of tie it all in. And then as we head out around here, we have got obviously these split off between the two different sections. So if we go around to the left first, we've got Maleficent's throne, and then we have this really cute little super Halloweeny area with the Halloween couches and the Mickey planter, and then obviously our entrance to the treehouse that we unfortunately cannot move, but I did my best to kind of decorate around it to make it less obvious. And then as we head forward from there, we've got Chernabog's castle from the house, from the premium shop. Let's see, from the house again, from the premium shop. And then as we head around from here, we have got my graveyard, which, as you can tell in here, I've popped some graves in with some headstones and a Well of Souls to kind of represent it all. And then as we head through the gravestone, we've actually got this little hidden path that takes us to this tiny little Halloween townhouse that I felt like was quite nice to be hidden back here. I really wanted to have the vibe that it was like hidden in the forest and no one knew it was here. So I gave it a very rundown look with some of the rundown woolly lampposts, and obviously added lots of trees behind to make it feel like it is in a forest. And as we head out of the graveyard, we've just got the musical mausoleum with some fruit bushes, and then we have our final section, which is Jack's house. Now Jack's house I absolutely love. He's got his own little section inspired and dedicated to Christmas with his little throne, and then we've also obviously got a lot of references to Halloweens and pumpkin-y things for his character. And then obviously next to that we have got a little kind of drive-in for the car to go. So that is my whole completed base game Valley tour. I hope you guys did enjoy. Obviously, once I've done this tour and we are heading towards December 4th, I will be bulldozing this whole valley, so it won't be like this for long. I will be doing a live stream where I just completely bulldoze everything, so keep an eye out for that, because that will be very, very sad but very fun to obviously get ready for December 4th when we're getting angled placement, where I can kind of restart again and give my valley a whole new look like it's never had before. Obviously, I will do a kind of follow-up video with that, and when I start building things we'll have brand new things. But also a lot of these builds I did do in my valley are actually videos on my channel, so I will leave a link to the playlists in the description, and those playlists will have a lot of these biomes, or at least a lot of these builds included in it. So if you did see a particular part and you wanted to know how to kind of recreate it, I have got videos for those. So as I said, they'll be in the description, so I hope that helps you a lot. Let me know down below which biome you like the best, and let me know if you enjoyed, to be honest. I'm so excited to restart my valley from fresh. As much as I love it, I'm so excited for it, and I hope you guys are excited for angled placement coming soon as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you think, and thank you for all your support on the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.